Procedure successful.
They told her husband everything went perfectly. But 3 days later, she collapsed on the hospital floor. And when doctors opened her up again, they found something no patient should ever have inside their body: a pair of surgical scissors. This is the story of how one careless mistake almost cost a young Nigerian woman her life, and how the truth nearly got buried forever. It was a quiet morning at Mercy Heart Hospital in Lagos. Nurses walked calmly through the corridor, files in hand, soft sunlight reflecting on polished floors. Suddenly, a scream in Ward 7. Amaka lay on the cold tiles, clutching her stomach. "Call the doctor," someone shouted. Her husband rushed in. "Amaka, what's happening? Talk to me." She could barely breathe. It hurts so much. Doctors surrounded her, but no one knew that the real danger had already been stitched inside her. 3 days earlier, everything seemed normal. Amaka and Emeka sat inside Dr. Chinwe's consultation office. Dr. Chinwe was respected, experienced, confident.
It's a simple procedure. You'll be fine in a few hours,
she assured them. Emeka squeezed his wife's hand.
"You'll be okay, we trust her."
Amaka nodded nervously and signed the consent form. That signature will change everything. The operating room was cold, bright lights above. Amaka lay unconscious. Dr. Chinwe began the operation. Halfway through, something felt rushed. Nurse scissors. The metallic tool was placed into her hand. Minutes passed. The surgery ended quickly. Dr. Chinwe removed her gloves.
Procedure successful,
she said confidently. But as the surgical team cleaned up, one thing was missing. No one noticed, or maybe someone did. Back in recovery, Amaka woke up in discomfort.
"This pain isn't normal,"
she whispered.
"It's normal after surgery."
Emeka frowned. The nurse adjusted her drip. Later, Dr. Chinwe stood at the foot of her bed.
"You're healing fine,"
she said firmly.
"But doctor, something feels wrong inside me. It's just post-surgery sensitivity."
The doctor dismissed and they sent her home. 2 days later, the pain became unbearable. Amaka couldn't stand upright. Emeka rushed her back to the hospital. An ultrasound was ordered. The room fell silent as the technician stared at the monitor. "Doctor, you need to see this."
"A metallic object in the scan results."
Emeka's heart pounded.
"What's that?"
The room had no answers, but Nurse Joy did. Later that night, she whispered to Amaka,
"Something was wrong that day. The instruments were counted, but I'm not sure the count was correct."
Fear spread through Amaka's veins. That night, Amaka collapsed at home.
"Amaka, hold on!"
I can't.
"I've got you, breathe."
It hurts so much.
Emeka carried her into the emergency entrance of a general
"Stay
hospital.
with me, Amaka. We're almost there."
"Right here, on the stretcher, gently."
"She's in pain. Please hurry."
"We've got her."
Doctors moved fast. She needs immediate surgery. Inside the operating theater, an experienced surgeon opened her abdomen carefully. Then, silence. A gloved hand lifted something metallic. A pair of blood-stained surgical scissors. The room froze. One doctor whispered.
"How does this even happen?"
Outside, Emeka waited. When the surgeon stepped out, his face was serious. "We found a foreign object." Emeka's voice trembled. The doctor showed him a photo, the scissors. Emeka's hands began to shake. "They left that inside my wife." His wall shattered. Back at Mercy Heart Hospital, panic spread. Dr. Chinwe sat alone in her office at night, blue computer light reflecting on her worried face. Her fingers hovered over the keyboard. Patient records, surgical notes, instrument count logs. Click, delete. She thought she could fix it, but the truth had already escaped. Within days, the story spread. Social media exploded. How can a hospital forget scissors? Inside someone. Journalists gathered outside Mercy Heart Hospital. Protesters demanded justice. This is negligence. Shut them down. Police arrived early one morning. Dr. Chinwe was escorted out in handcuffs. Her neighbors watched in shock. The woman once respected, now disgraced. The hospital held a press conference 3 days later. The main hall was packed with journalists, cameras, and angry citizens. Some held signs, "Justice for Amaka. Daughters are not gods. Stop protecting criminals." The medical director stood in front of the press, looking 20 years older than he had 2 weeks ago. Lawyers flanked him on both sides. He read from a prepared statement, his voice shaking.
Management of Mercy Heart Hospital sincerely apologizes to Mrs. Amaka and her entire family for the pain this regrettable mistake has cost them.
A serious error occurred during her surgery, an error that was compounded by attempts to hide the truth. We failed her as medical professionals and as human beings. Journalists shouted questions. Will the hospital be shut down? How many other cases were covered up? Where is Dr. Chinwe now? Before anyone could answer, the door at the back opened. Emeka walked in supporting Amaka. She was thin and weak, but she was walking. She was alive. The room fell silent. Every camera turned toward her. Amaka walked slowly to the front. Someone gave her a microphone. For the first time since this nightmare began, she was going to tell her own story, in her own words, and the whole country was listening. Amaka's voice was soft but steady. My name is Amaka Onwosu. I am 28 years old. I am a mother. I am a wife. And I almost died because a doctor chose her pride over my life and was absolutely silent. When I went to that hospital, I trusted them completely. I put my life in their hands. They promised me safety. They promised me care. Instead, they left surgical scissors inside my body. Then they called me crazy when I said something was wrong. Her voice grew stronger now, anger giving her power. They tried to silence the nurses who wanted to help me. They deleted evidence. They lied to my face while I screamed in pain. They were more worried about their reputation than my life. Because of them, I almost left my children without a mother. Because of them, I still have nightmares. I wake up screaming, thinking something is cutting me from the inside. Tears rolled down her cheeks, but she didn't stop. Dr. Chinwe Okafor needs to face justice. Not just for me, for every patient who trusted her. And this hospital needs to answer for protecting her instead of protecting patients. When she finished, the room erupted. Some people were crying, others were shouting. The medical director sat with his head bowed. He had no defense, no excuse, only shame. The courtroom was silent. Amaka sat beside Emeka, still recovering but determined. The judge read the verdict. Gross medical negligence. Dr. Chinwe stood still, eyes lowered. The sentence was delivered. Justice had spoken. 6 months later, sunlight filled Amaka's modest living room. Her children laughed and played nearby. A faint scar remained on her abdomen. A reminder. Emeka wrapped his arm around her gently. "You're strong," he said softly. She smiled. "I almost didn't make it." She survived. But not everyone survives medical mistakes. And sometimes, the most dangerous wounds are the ones you can see.